Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaki Amada. Today being Tuesday, the 6th of July or the 27th of May in the 9th year of Chongyinpuk. So let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Chariot, Kyombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족멘세 1. 천일국 주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이사인 지산천국과 천산천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 1. Our family, the owner of Chongyilbrook, pledges to seek our original homeland and build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation, by centering on true love. Thank you. I'd like to ask Suniko if she could offer the opening prayer, please.
Let's pray. Dearest Heavenly Parents, Parent of humankind, thank you very much. New day, start a new day, beautiful day. And we prepare heart to listen to your word and listen to your guidance. And today, and we truly think about that today's each one of us to how to attend that in providence and how to stimulate our faith to more than any time, and together unite with Heavenly Parent and to parent and to mother in this time, and prepare heart to listen to your word. And thank you very much to all brothers and sisters, and to unite in this time with leaders, and had more than prepare heart to in this time. And I report James and Seneca Bible of Blessed family. Adieu.
Adieu. Thank you. So let's offer a warm welcome to Reverend Yutaka as he shares with us this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today's morning Hundoke. Today is a beautiful day. Every moment we are alive, we are waking up well, and we can meet each other. We put our heart and offer our love and gratitude to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. This itself is already grateful and very great appreciation. So anyway, thank you for your joining. Let's have a great day today. So last time I introduced about ILC. Do you know ILC? Now we are preparing the ILC. This is the poster. Think Tank 2022 toward peace on the Korean Peninsula, peace and security. This starts from tomorrow, July 7 to 8, 9 a.m. Bangkok time is around 12 lunchtime, Sydney time. So this is preparing and start from tomorrow. So centering on Korean Peninsula, and also the topic of reunification between North and South Korea, that each speaker or each expert from the nation and from the religious group, business group, they are joined together, and we will have a conference. So I prepare one short 2 minutes introduction video about ILC. So this video actually, there are many areas, some kind of the introduction from America, from Europe, from Africa, South America, but I just cut only for the Asian Pacific part, because if I show everything, it's getting long. So I prepare some short video. So let's watch together about ILC introduction.
From April 28th to May 1st, 2021, the International Leadership Conference organized a series of webinar talks with around 420 expert panelists across its 6 global regions under the theme Toward Peaceful Reunification of the Korean Peninsula, Creating the Foundation for a Unified World. Each region held 10 theme sessions with hundreds of thousands of viewing participants worldwide.
The success of the Asia-Pacific ILC 2021 was due to the full support from the international and regional leadership of UPF. 20,000 online participants from 45 countries registered for 9 different sessions specially dedicated to the heads of state, first ladies, parliamentarians, interfaith, academy, business, media, and culture and arts. Former Vice President of Nepal, His Excellency Parmanand Jas, said that reunification is the only way to heal the suffering hearts of separated Korean families. A peaceful and unified Korea will be a catalyst for economic development in Northeast Asia. Former President of Marshall Island, His Excellency Kasai Note, quoted Father Moon saying that war is the most primitive way of resolving conflict and only honest dialogue can solve the problem.
The co-founders of UPF and WFWPI have devoted their entire lives to the cause of world peace. Since Reverend Moon's passing in 2012, Mother Moon, as she is fondly called worldwide, has continued to pursue their shared dream of creating a world of peace.
30 years ago, Father and Mother Moon visited North Korea. They met then leader Kim Il-sung. The prospect of peaceful reunification of the Korean Peninsula is near and dear to their heart and lies in the background really of all the work they've done throughout their lives. But as Father Moon has passed on and as Mother Moon has taken up the leadership of the movement, she has particularly at this time called UPF to give undivided focus to this project to promote inter-Korean cooperation and move toward peaceful reunification. Thank you again for your support for UPF, for your work to promote peaceful unification of the Korean Peninsula. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. So this year is actually the 30 years anniversary of True Parents' visitation to North Korea this November. That's why this time period is one of also the important target. So Universal Peace Federation is also preparing several ILC, several also summit, even under the COVID situation. So this is the program in Asian Pacific for 2 days from tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So actually there is more detailed schedule with each speakers, but it's getting long. So I will just introduce the topic and the title. Wednesday, July 7, 2021. First one, opening plenary, Toward Peace Reunification of Korean Peninsula, Peace and Security. And session 2, prospects for Korean peace and security in a changing geopolitical landscape. And session 3, Korean reunification, China's key role. And session 4, achieving sustainable peace in Korea, a mutual multilateral challenge for Asian Pacific. And also next day, section 5, re-energizing the United Nations for peace on the Korean Peninsula. Section 6, emerging Indo-Pacific strategies after G7 summit, implication for Korea. And section 7, challenges of peace on the Korean Peninsula, analyzing the security scenario. And closing session, summary and recommendation. So this is the schedule of ILC. So of course, this little bit long, and this is daytime. Maybe it's not easy for you to join everything. So at least even one session is also okay. The session which you are interested in, then you can join together. And if you are totally difficult, then even only registration is also okay. We put our heart and cooperate together and show to the peoples. We are joining together, supporting this ILC. So through this ILC program, even one person start to have an interest or concern about North and South Korea and also unification, then this become the new changing moment. That's why we just introduce as much as we can to share to them. And if someone gets some answer or gets some message, then this become the new starting moment. That's why I hope also you yourself register well and to share to another person. So I think Reverend John already shared a link, and also each leader is also sharing those information. So please read and please also register together. And also especially now we are reading through Mother's autobiography, and exactly we are sharing this topic. So today's topic is also talking about our United Nations office in the Korean Peninsula. So we can see together. So let's go to the Trumada's autobiography. So yesterday we are discussing centering on Korean Peninsula, how Korean Peninsula was divided into two nations. And in this history, how heaven protected and guided our begotten son and begotten daughter through father and through mother. How heaven raised them up, protect, and also they could recognize, realize their mission and also their purpose in their life. And in the same time, Korea, how Korea was loving God, and even how God loved Korean people and Korean nation themselves. That's why even Korean national anthem, they're mentioning about God. And I think in the Oceania nation, many nations also mentioning about God inside of national constitution or national anthem. That much, that nation has direct connection with God and God's love together with your nation. That's why how we can introduce God, how we can tell God, how we can share about God to the people. So if your national anthem has God already, this is really good way to introduce. How do you know about our national anthem already mentioning about God? How much are you recognize God? We should understand God's heart so we can explain and we can guide to the peoples. That's why in Korea was guided also under the guidance of Jesus and also the Holy Spirit, and through parents was growing up well and stand as father and through mother, and through mother now leading the providence as the mother of peace and mother of universe, and how UN take the important role for the Korean Peninsula and for our true parents. So let's continue to read our autobiography. The United Nations established its headquarters in New York City at the end of World War II. 70 years have since passed. There are 3 other major UN offices in Geneva, Vienna, and Nairobi. But even though the world has entered the Asian Pacific era, there is no major UN office in Asia. So UN is taking important role for the world. But where is the office? Mother is mentioning the 4 offices. So I prepared a map. Can you see? Do you know where is the UN office? One is in New York, right? And another one is here, Geneva, Switzerland, and another one is Vienna, Austria, and another one is Nairobi in Kenya. So there are 4 UN office in the world. So we could see those area, almost America, and also the, where is that? Europe and also Africa. But when we see this map, which area is the bigger area? Our Asian Pacific region is biggest area, but there is no UN office. That's why through father and through mother is mentioning and suggesting this 5th UN office. So let's see the autobiography again. I have recommended that the UN open its 5th international office in Korea, specifically in the demilitarized zone DMZ on the 38th parallel. I am supporting various groups, including the Universal Peace Federation and the Citizens Federation for the Unification of North and South Korea, in their efforts to turn the DMZ into a global peace park. This will bring the issue of Korean reunification to the attention of the world's people as no other action can. That's why Tirumada is recommended, even also before Tirumada proclaimed about 5th international office in Korea. So if the UN open its 5th international office, then what it will be happen? This become the symbol of the unification between North and South Korea, and this become the symbol of peace. So you can see, this is the Korean Peninsula now, North Korea, Pyongyang, South Korea, and there is DMZ. This is DMZ, and what Tirumada recommending, mentioning, try to make this place the global peace park, and also 5th international UN office. Our Australia is now preparing the peace park. This project is also directly connected with Tirumada's project. So centering on this Korean Peninsula, now there is a project to establish global peace park and also to establish the 5th UN office. So if this one will be created, already this Korean Peninsula become the symbol of peace. So how much grateful. That's why our ILC, one of the topic is also about these things, the unification and also relationship with United Nations. So I hope also please join together to learn these things. All the nations of Asia would be pleased to serve as a site of a new global UN headquarters, but I believe that Korea has unique qualifications. It houses the international headquarters of the Universal Peace Federation and of the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace. Spiritually speaking, as a nation in which 2 parents were born, Korea has something very deep within its culture that can serve the world. So what Tirumada said, if this UN office global headquarters will be established, then many people from Asia Pacific visit this place. And also Mother is mentioning this Korea, there is a headquarters house of Universal Peace Federation and also International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace, or several headquarters. But what was most important things is a nation where 2 parents were born. And this place become the central nation of the world, even central nation of the universe. There is Cheonjeonggun Peace Palace, and now Tirumada is preparing about the Cheonjeonggun. That's why this place become the central place or headquarters of the world and also the central place of the universe. So all world and all, even including the spiritual world, is looking at this place. Some 70 years ago, the UN forces shed blood and sweat for the sake of peace in Korea. By ending the division on the peninsula, the UN would complete the mission of those soldiers who gave their lives and inspire peace in the world. In his speech given at the United Nations headquarters in New York in 2000, my husband announced our vision of a peace park in the demilitarized zone. So already Trifada proclaimed this vision about peace park in DMZ in 2000 in UN. That's why how Trifada and Trimada already planned and preparing those vision from long time ago. 15 years later, in May of 2015, at the UN office in Vienna, Austria, I proposed that a fifth UN office be built there. The President of the Republic of Korea himself proposed to North Korea at the UN that a peace park be built in the DMZ. If North and South Korea invite the UN to build its fifth office in the DMZ, it will, by the very act alone, turn a theater of war, where so many on both sides of the conflict shed their blood into a Mecca of peace. So all these things is talking about through Father, or they proclaimed even through Mother, proclaimed and announced in UN office about this vision, how we can fulfill reunification between North and South Korea, this Korean Peninsula. This is very important things. And also how God can emerge and God can come down, and there we can show heavenly unified Korea centering on our heavenly parents. Then this nation becomes the Mecca of peace, and all people will visit to Korean Peninsula. So in the past, our soldiers shed tears and even sacrificed their lives in the Korean Peninsula. That's why if we could fulfill, if this vision was will be fulfilled, then those people's life, those people's soul, and their wishes will be liberated and fulfilled. That's why the unification between North and South Korea is really meaningful things and important things. If there is God's will, there is the way. The Father always mentioned. And also, if there is vision, surely this vision will be fulfilled. That's why what kind of vision do we have? Our Heavenly Parents' dream and hope of our all human beings. Restore the nation and restore the world. Establish Choniguk and establish the kingdom of heaven on earth. So when we have confidence, we are totally united with our Heavenly Parents and true parents, surely this vision and dream will be fulfilled. So let's put our heart and also go together. So I will share also our word of Cheonseong. Yesterday, we are sharing also Father mentioning about the masterpiece of the creation. Our human beings body, our human beings is the masterpiece of God's creation. When we see our body, how many tasks is running at the one moment? Can you count when you see your body? How many tasks is going on in your body now? Your eye, your ear, your nose, your blood, your internal organ, everything at the one moment, many kind of tasks is moving now. So that much our human beings is the great existence. And also Father said, would that God have rendered them incapable of knowing what he says, sees, or feels? So how God created human beings? So Father is mentioning those words. Surely God make the people who can feel, hear, and understand God's heart. So let's continue to read our Chansongyeon also. Let us compare God to an artist. To create a masterpiece, an artist conceives it in his or her imagination and designs it with his or her intelligence. The artist aimed to create a unique work of art, the best in the world. If the masterpiece turns out perfectly as envisioned, the artist feels infinite joy. If the work is even better than planned, no artist in the world would say, "This isn't what I intended," and then destroy it. If a piece of art is better than originally intended, he or she will cherish it as the treasure of a lifetime and will want to display it with pride to others. So the Father is mentioning about God as the artist. So God created human beings as the masterpiece. So before creating the creation, before creating the human beings, what did he do before that? He think, he planned, and he created the blueprint. That's why in order to create human beings, how many and how deep and how much did he think and imagine about God, and how much did he prepare for the creation? And finally, human beings was created. The art was created more than expectation. How much God was happy, how much artist will be happy. That's why God created with wish about Adam and Eve, but not only them, even each of you and each of us. God has a plan. God had a wish and hope and invest God's heart in order to create yourself. God is absolute, unique, unchanging, and eternal. So for ourselves, God is absolute, God is unique, God is unchanging, and God is eternal. But in the same time, how about for God? For God, even our individual, yourself, ourself is also absolute, unique, unchanging, and eternal existence for God. That's why God is loving you absolutely. God is loving you unchangingly, and God is loving you eternally. And also, God is treating you, approaching you as the unique existence. That's why God is loving you most. God is investing, thinking you most, because each of you, each of us is a unique existence, even unique for God. That's why how much do we feel this preciousness? God is loving us, and we are that much precious existence. Such is the heart of an artist. If human beings have a tendency to always desire something higher than and better, God must have the same tendency. If he had the mindset when he created human beings, how wonderful they must be. We can conclude that God wanted to create us as his greatest masterpiece. So that much God put his effort and wishes and hope to create human beings. So how about, do you have some kind of desire to develop more, to be grow up more, to have a better person, better life, and better environment, and better people? Do we have this kind of desire? I want to study more. I want to develop more. I want to learn more. So those desire, where it comes from, this desire, this kind of attitude, this kind of heart is also coming from God. That's why if we have those kind of desire, those kind of heart, meaning is already we have a nature of God, same nature of God we have. So Father is mentioning about this. So this is the last part. Consider the structure of the human body, which is truly a palace of wonders. It is amazing that while each of the numerous cells is the separate entity, each cell cooperate with the other cells without conflict to form each of us as freely functioning individuals. We can conclude that this vast world moves and acts to perfect each of us individually. We can conclude further that everything is in motion for the purpose of fulfilling God's will. So how much great things. Do you know how many cells our body has? Many number, right? How many cells do we have? Several some results. Some people say 60 trillion. And the recent result also talking about the 37 trillion. So anyway, almost so many trillion cell. We have a cell about 60 trillion, 37 trillion our human body has. So how about the starting time? Starting time is only just one cell. This divided into 2, divided into 4. So how many times this cell was divided? This mentioned about 46 times. If cell divided into 2 for 46 times, of course, maybe not exactly 1 to 2, 2 to 4, but finally start from 1 and finally became 60 or 37 trillion cells. Each cell has own life. Each cell have a own purpose and own working, but in the same time, those cells is working together, cooperate together without conflict. This is our body. So how about our life? How many people is it possible to work together? When you see your friend, when you see the people around you, until how many people can you unite together without conflict? How many people do you have confidence? 10 people is possible to work with you? Or 50 person is possible for you to work together without conflict? Or even 3 person is difficult? Or even 2 person is difficult? How about your husband and wife? You totally work together without conflict? How about your family? 6 people, 5 people is working together without conflict? Or 10 people? How many people we are possible? But when we see our body, not 10 cells, not 100 cells, how many cells working together? 60 trillion or 37 trillion cells are working together without conflict. How much great! That's why God is showing greatness, and God's plan, preparation, and heart is already inside our body and inside of our universe. That's why we can see, recognize our God, we can feel God, we can recognize our greatness and our importantness of ourselves. And even another person also same. God love you absolutely in unique way and unchanging, eternal. And also God love our neighbors also same way. Our brothers and sisters also same way. And also another people is same way who God love most. That's why when we recognize God, we can automatically connect all people as the brothers and sisters. This is the vision of our heavenly parents. This is vision of our true parents. And this is the vision for ourselves. So today also new day, we are really creating every moment together with God, together with our heavenly parents and true parents. Let's also recognize and feel God's heart, how God's love is together with me, how God's hope together with me and also our brothers and sisters. Then we can create a beautiful and happy family, city, society, nation, and world. So today also a great day, beautiful day. Let's have a exciting and joyful moment. Thank you very much for joining today's Fundokkei. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka, as always, really giving us so much information and insight into what's happening, and our true mother and true father, and working in North Korea, and it's really inspiring. I was about the Peace Park. I was really you may know that we're trying to do peace parks in Australia. There's 543 councils in Australia, and I just want to show. I'll just share the screen quickly. Can you see this image here of a peace park? We are one through interdependence and respect. We actually have we've been to 2 councils and slowly been to others, and gave a presentation because I was inspired by Mother's Peace Park in North Korea. And so this has already been submitted to the council in Cumberland City Council, because one of our peace ambassadors, Mrs. Lee Lam, she's been a 4-time mayor of that area, and she's actually an emeritus mayor, so she has a lifetime membership in a way as being the mayor of the council. And so this is basically a mock-up of what the park will look like. And it has some quotes from Father. It has the logo of UPF, the logo of the Cumberland City Council, and things like that. And then this has been submitted. We're waiting for their reply and comment, and this is what the pillar is. And inside, underneath the plaque where it's written there's going to be a central cavity in which the soil that we received from Father, which is a global soil, is going to be mixed with the local soil. And it's going to be put in a sealed container and then put there, and then there'll be inscriptions on the pillar and things like this. All of this has been agreed to, but a thing, because of COVID and certain things, the main person, who is the CEO of the council, has left, and there's an election happening, and there may be another mayor. And so this is in flux now, so if you're able to pray for this project to go ahead and be successful, and we still have the 4-time mayor giving her support, and also it's a multicultural community, so we have Muslim ambassadors of peace. Actually the mayor and the Muslim ambassador of peace came with us to when we presented our case about the Peace Park. And it was all accepted, and we're sort of hoping to come, but with COVID and the changing of council and things, so it's uncertain that they'll go ahead. So we have to re-present to the new council after the election and things like that. So if you can keep that prayer in mind, because we really I want to see a peace park in every council. Like I said, there's 543 around Australia, and once this starts, I think it'll snowball, and it'll really be a great success, and really have some impact and show some presence around Australia. So this is ongoing, and has had a lot of discussion and talk, and had lots of meetings, with the council and our own members as well. And we collectively came up with those words, and also the soil. There was concern about the soil, so had the soil tested, and of course it was fine. And so I've got a certificate indicating that. So when we go to the mayor, other councils can show that the soil is clean and doesn't have any biocontaminants. So I just wanted to share that because I was really inspired about having peace parks, and really to spread it around all of Australia. So collectively, Australia ultimately become a peace park. And the uniqueness of the peace park, because we're putting the soil there, it actually becomes a public, sacred, holy ground, and for all faiths. So And so it's a real holy ground that we consecrate as the Peace Park. So just like we make holy grounds and we put the soil, we will make those as real holy grounds, but also they become public, sacred, holy grounds. So it's I'm very excited and inspired by that, and just wanted to show you that, you know, this is what's been there, and it's basically was agreed, but now the council's in change because of that. Anyway, you know, and you understand. So thank you. Yeah, please, who would like to share? Yes, Daniela, go ahead.
Buongiorno. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing today and every day. It's very enlightening, inspiring, exciting. First thing in the morning, it's so amazing to jump up and you know, get to the most amazing work first thing in the morning, spiritual work and creating peace in the world. Wow. And yeah, I feel I actually had a dream. It was I was listening to the Godibo when I woke up early in the morning, and then I think I must have fell asleep again, and then I had a dream with you, Reverend John, and I was sitting down, you putting, like, you know, the New Zealand kind of traditional greeting, you're putting your forehead like this on my forehead, and we can do it like this. So that was really nice. Sorry to share a personal thing. That was, yeah, a connection of heart. So I've been praying a lot, and the role that you have is so key and so amazing to have your heart and your dedication like that. So yeah, it was a beautiful dream. And it was not a dream, it was kind of really like a connection, you know. But I wanted to share regarding the you know, the UN office in the 38th parallel. In one of the Women's Federation virtual rallies, it was Caroline Hutchins. She's a UN member now in Geneva, and she's the Women's Federation leader in Europe. And she's connected to this woman that has done, she's connected, she comes from the Cherokee, the tribes, and she's been doing this work in all the border zones in the world and creating exactly like peace parks in all the places where, because in all the places in the world that suffer this kind of division, in like a Berlin that was divided, all these countries that have gone through this kind of similar pattern of history that were divided like that. And so they've been creating these projects how to heal that, with creating parks around and creating places where people can come and pray. So it's a very much, it's a work in progress, and they going ahead really with planning and concrete kind of work by connecting to people that already also have been working on this for, for guided by God, by Heavenly Parent, of course, and being inspired and doing all this kind of work. So, yeah, I feel like Reverend Yutaka is saying, reading this morning with the body, like our body, everything works together as our level of heart and conscience, as we becoming more, connected to a Heavenly Parent and purifying ourselves, then of course that is just going to be a ripple effect that, and we connected through the people that already are like that. They are, elevating and becoming people of, empowered and united with Heavenly Parents. So yeah, it's a beautiful sharing, and she illustrates all the parks and the work, and it's very inspiring to see that, and to obviously know that through Mother will probably be, there's so many people that are already putting these things in place already. So it's a concrete thing that's already happening. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you, Daniela. Thank you. Wow. Dreams are wonderful. Yes, Mr. Right.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for Daniela, the good dream. And it's a long time ago. Few Korean asking about unification of Korea. What Reverend Moon is thinking about, and then what. We can
be at the forefront or find a balanced relationship with men. And it says that the bird of humanity has two wings, one male and one female.
Yeah, then so tomorrow and the other tomorrow, 2 days, I think this is a very good chance to a bit long, and because one of the this year until next year, it is one of a very, it's a big topic. It's still, I think, world is facing a corona. Do we pray for Fiji, also Sydney, and those other many nations, and also maybe many also Japanese people thinking Olympic game and really quite serious preparation. And but I think it's under such a quite many issues, but we are really focused, pray for make Korean unification. And then I remember also today, yesterday, like God is created us, so we are great, each one is the masterpiece for God creation. And I getting old, I feel more than that. And but this kind of honest, this truth in a communist world cannot share. And if we are really happy and encouraged for moving this truth, God is love, but I think cannot share in under the communist regime. And this is happy, but at the same time pain. It's a lot of pain. It's a crying point. I think this is the point Father went to North Korea, and then it is one of like a biggest talk. Many people can say, Sunday service, John gave an encouraging speech that Sunday, God exists, and great. But so the member attend, then, oh yes, thank you. But not so easy to talk to North Korean leader, but Father gave one of the, I think, historical truth. And really, I think Chris and Kim said it looks like Father, talk to brother and sister, and I think also a little bit very, it's more than strong. Then if I'm leader of North Korea, it's what we can reply. It is very difficult. It's anger, frustration. Why he come to North Korea talk about God? It is. But MP from North Korea, he testified tear-free. It's so much influenced incredible. This is one of, give us a courage and give us incredible courage. Really do not afraid, really, this is one of the biggest breakthrough. But how Kim Il-sung understand? I think a long-time leader of the communist leader, I think it's, not easy to understand. I don't know how he understand, but his greatness is, maybe he's not understand, but when he met the father, it's really hung together. And he's one of the greatest, I think, showman. It's incredible. Then when after started talk, Reverend Father don't talk about religion in front of Kim Il-sung. God exists. God, without God, Godism cannot unify. Father didn't talk. Father started talk of the divided families reunion with father's painful experience. Then also the nuclear weapons facilities inspection or Kongan-san's investment, which is he understands Korea situation practically very well. And it is one of the really practical approach. And so Kim Il-sung, shocking surprise. Then who reported wrong things, bad things about Reverend Moon and scold the staff. And really, Kim Il-sung, it's a surprise. That's why I think we needed the spiritual aspect. Then if we tried only spiritual aspect, it's a God exists. Some people not, I think it's, that's why we need each area. That's why I think this time, maybe we can get many ideas, but always at the end, towards the end of the meeting, Kim Il-sung is very clever, get people's idea, what do you think? Then do not deny, we respect you. Then he gave his plan, is how can unify Korea. He says, I don't know proper English, but Republic of Federal of Korea, and one nationality, one nation, and two system, and two government. This is Kim Il-sung's famous plan. Then Father listened. I was just reading Bohee Park's testimony, how Father responded. Because other day, UPF leader in Korea asked the Father, what is the plan, our movement about future unification? The Father said, mind and body unity, and every kind of unity. And then UPF leader said, we cannot deal with the people, it's other hand, Kim Il-sung give this kind of practical approach. Then we say, what is unification church? It's an approach, mind and unity. It's but I was thinking, it's really, Father is a person who really loved, prayed, and really got message and go there and not only give a good idea outside, man-to-man, the face-to-face, then other person like Kim Il-sung can move. That kind of substantial talk. So this area, I think, is most important things. Not only stuck in idea, it's a lot of ideas. I have this idea. It's more than that. We really substantial talk with heart, pray, tears, man to man. This is important. Then Father done that and show us. That's why this is the most important point. Then, of course, we're having really good time with, God exists, masterpiece. Lord, we are benefited, we're blessed, but how we can share to the people who cannot listen. That's why. But anyway, I think it will be good time for tomorrow and for the day. And thank you for your John, always. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Arai. It's so true. Actually, we've gone past our usual time, and there's two people who are wanting, who've got their hand up to speak. And I know people have other things. We're in lockdown, and that I'm just asking, are we okay to let them speak, or we finish here and they can say for tomorrow? We've got a few people putting thumbs up to say let them speak. Okay, all right. So thank you. So Seti, go ahead. You had your hand up first, and then followed by Jacinta, and then that's it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Reverend Yutaka and brothers and sisters. I just wanted to just to convey my how do you say, I'm impressed by this Peace Park thing you've just shown, John. I didn't really understand what you were thinking there in Australia, but this monument with our holy soil and the local soil, and with the blessing of local administrators, and it's really, that is really amazing. I mean, that's in line with what I was talking about, the ball of fire thing around the Pacific Rim Peace Road 2027 that we envisage here in Samoa. And we look at the local places of significance for us here in Samoa anyway, like Savaii Island, where the Bible came in, was translated, etc., as peace places. But also we have places where there's been a lot of sadness, like where genocide happened, etc. And, like Tasmania, or, in New Zealand, there's many war sites of just horrible atrocities. So these are excellent places where you can put this holy prayer, the fatherland soil and true parents' presence. This is just amazing, and I hope that as a region we can all pray for this, and that it can be multiplied. We can choose all the best places, and I'm sure in this COVID environment, and this is really the time to speak, like Mr. Arai was saying, substantial talk, where Father, because the environment was right and situation was right, and then, with heaven's grace, he spoke directly to Kobajov. He spoke directly to Kim Il-sung, and it got through, because it's the timing. And I think this is exactly the same for us, for here in Samoa. We have to really get our UPF organizational elements together. This is perfect time for us to approach the Prime Minister, Head of State, and say, we want to do this, like you've pointed there with the soil, etc. Excellent time. And this gives so much hope. I've written here, we have to bring God's hope and monument to point the way to the future. We are building, it's good to see that monuments to slave owners and things in America, many monuments to leaders who, we only saw one side, but the other side, there's a lot of sadness involved with some of these leaders who had monuments. But these are true monuments which will build the future, and it's painting the happy world which will be from now on, So I really commend and I really hope we can all pray for this and multiply it, not just in Australia and New Zealand, but to find the sites all around the Pacific Rim area, Asia Pacific, Americas, right through to Asia and to our center of our fatherland there. yeah. So yeah, thank you very much. Very inspiring.
Thank you, Seti. Thank you. Okay, Jacinta, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, brothers and sisters. We've been talking a lot about unification of North and South Korea, and also the Korean War and the 16 nations and others who participated in the Korean War. And yesterday, for some reason, you know, we always talk about Australia and New Zealand as being one of those 16 nations. But then I was thinking about Oceania in general, and at the time in 1950, in fact, all the Oceania Islands were either under the US or Australia or the UK or New Zealand. And in fact, I did a quick search yesterday and I looked for Samoa and it popped up American Samoa. So there were actually 100 American Samoans who went to the Korean War and 4 died there. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, you know, instead of just thinking only Australia and New Zealand, in fact, our whole region somehow, I think, participated in the Korean War. I'd be interested to know if there are any Samoans. I'm not sure. I know they participated in the First and Second World Wars. I'm not sure in the Korean War. And other nations, you know, like Papua New Guinea was, you know, looked after by Australia until 1975. And, you know, even I think Marshall Islands, I think I read that Marshall Islands, some Marshall Island people went to the Korean War. Yeah, so I think this gives a different view on Oceania, because as a whole, Oceania actually supported the reunification of, well, supported Korea at the time of its need in Korean War. So just thought I would put that little idea there.
Yeah, thank you, Jacinta. Thank you. Janine, you got your hand up. Absolute last person, go ahead.
Just very quickly, yesterday I looked up when Kim Il-sung passed away, and he passed away on the 9th of June, 1994. And Father met with Kim Il-sung 2.5 years or two years and 7 months before. I thought it was really interesting that Kim Il-sung had a similar time to Father being in prison to actually connect with Father and to love Father, kind of indemnify what he'd done. That's all, very, very simply. It was significant.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And thank you, everyone. And thank you for your patience. And let's join together. And in our unison prayer, I'll just share the screen and let's begin. Arju, Arju, Arju. Thank you, everyone, and really have a great day, and see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye.